Good evening and welcome to Grizzly Stadium on the campus of Northwest High School, where tonight we are excited to bring you on YouTube and on ESPN Wichita Northwest Grizzly football. Tonight from Grizzly Stadium, game number 3 of the season, as it's the Grizzlies playing host to some rivals from across town on the east side, a team that won both games against Northwest last season, the Kapaun Mount Carmel Crusaders. My name is Steve Strain. Kevin Arkin joining me, and welcome in to our pregame show brought to you by Toppers Plus as the Grizzlies look for some revenge against Kapaun. These two teams met up, as I said, twice last season, once early in the regular season, and after an early lead, it was all Kapaun in the second half of that contest. Crusaders won 34-17. Then in the playoffs, 2 games away from the state championship game, it was these two teams again meeting at Stryker, and once again in a good battle where Northwest did lead for a good part of the night. Kapaun was just too much. The Crusaders won that night 38-35 on their way to the state semifinals, where Kapaun lost the following week to Mays by just a single point. And Kapaun is a team, Kevin, that is really got to be reeling right now. They started off the season with a nice win as they knocked off South 51-0, but last week East stuck it to Kapaun 30-20. This is not the same Kapaun team that we saw last year. It's a good Kapaun team with some very good parts, but not the same team. And I think last week was evident. You think they got to be stung a little bit by that.
And we certainly, Steve, do not want to sell this team short. They are ranked number 6 in 5A. Northwest, on the other hand, is ranked number 5 in 6A. So they're in different divisions, but they're both highly ranked teams going after one another. And if you look back to the playoff game from last year, we lost by 3 points, but look at the injuries we had early in that contest, most notably on the first play from scrimmage when L.J. Phillips went down with a torn ACL. That basically wiped out our entire game plan. Jeremiah Moore was hobbling by the time the game was over because he was trying to pick up the slack from L.J. being down. It just wasn't the same Grizzly team once the fire from L.J. Phillips was gone. He's back. He's obviously full strength. He has over 300 yards in 2 games so far. I think that going to an early key of the game, L.J. Phillips on the field is a key factor for Northwest. And if Northwest is going to beat Kapaun tonight, they need to have their offensive unit on the field at least 75% of the time, in my opinion.
And to back up your point, Kevin, in the first loss Northwest suffered to Kapaun last season, it was about the only game all year where the running game was shut down for Northwest. Kapaun did a great job of containing the Northwest high-powered rushing attack. The Grizzlies then were forced to throw the football a lot in that game last year. The first one I'm talking about, that's not Northwest's MO. They ended up losing the game, and so I think that just proves your point that for Northwest to be successful, they do need to be successful on the ground tonight. And, hey, hats off to the Grizzlies for what they did last week. After getting dominated in the second half of their season opener against Bishop Carroll, the Grizzlies responded last week 52-6 in a romping of Heights. A decent Heights team with one of the best players in all the state, John Randall, but boy, the Grizzlies look possessed, and I think they corrected some issues last week that might bode well the rest of the way.
Steve Martin had said we had a lot of things to fix between game 1 and game 2. And last week, they fixed them all, we think. The only one we're not sure about is the punting game. And the only reason that we don't know about that is Grizzlies did not have an opportunity to punt last week at all. So, I'm assuming that at some point tonight, both teams are going to be punting the ball because we have 2 good defenses out there. It'll be interesting to see from a field position perspective what our punting game does for the team tonight.
Northwest Football is brought to you by Mel Hambleton Ford. This is your pregame show, and our sponsor of it is Toppers Plus. Hey, they've got a new location, 333 Northwest Street. Stop by, see Blake Esters and the folks at Toppers Plus for your truck accessories. Toppers Plus, make your truck work for you. Kevin alluded to it, a conversation he had with Steve Martin. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we will hear what Coach Martin had to say about the Heights contest. He'll also preview tonight's game as well. So stay tuned for that as our Toppers Plus pregame show continues in a moment. This is Grizzly Football presented by Mel Hambelton Ford.
Hi friends, Bill Nightingale, General Manager of Mel Hambelton Ford. Are you looking for a used car, truck, or SUV? With the largest selection in the state, you're sure to find the vehicle you're searching for at Mel Hambelton Ford. At the Big Corner, customers are number one, so every used vehicle is checked out in our shop by a certified technician before it goes out on the lot for sale. Shop Mel Hambelton Ford first, a dealer you can trust. Visit us out on West Kellogg today or shop us online at mhford.com. Mel Hambelton Ford, experience the difference.
Grizzlies basketball on the internet is brought to you in part by Andrew's Cleaning Service. Owned and operated by Andrew Dillon, they offer residential cleaning, apartment cleaning, commercial cleaning services, deep cleaning, construction and remodel cleanup, carpet cleaning, and much more. Whether it be a one-time cleanup job or regular service scheduled weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, Andrew's Cleaning Service is ready to take care of your cleaning needs. Andrew's Cleaning Service serves the greater Wichita metro area, including Derby, Hayesville, Mays, Goddard, and Valley Center. Check them out on the web at wichitacleaningservice.com or give Andrew a call for an estimate at 712-3883. We thank Andrew's Cleaning Service for their support of Grizzly basketball on the web.
Hey Grizzly Nation, this is Eric Hofer-Holdeman, your principal at Northwest High School. Did you know Grizzly Pride is the combined booster club and PTO here at Northwest? They support both athletics and academics. We're asking you to join Grizzly Pride this year. Due to these extraordinary times, Grizzly Pride doesn't have the same fundraising opportunities they normally have, and we need you to join and offer your donation to help Grizzly Pride out. Go to our Northwest webpage, join today. Go Grizzlies.
Good afternoon, Grizzlies. We're your hosts, Hansel Wynn
and Aya Garby. We're happy to have you watching another episode of What's Brewin'.
The Toppers Plus pregame show continues now, and we're joined by head coach Steve Martin for our weekly visit before the game, sponsored in part by the U.S. Army. Go to goarmy.com and find the recruiting office near you. Coach, congratulations on a tremendous turnaround from week one as we took on Heights last Friday night in totally dominating the contest.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you saw a much improved defense, one that was really focused on stopping the run instead of, getting out nickel and predicting what we could do. But, it was a great effort by those guys. We moved some parts around, loaded up the box a little bit and stopped John Randall, a Power 5 running back who's getting recruited by God and everybody. So, we had to focus on that, and our kids responded. We had a tough week of practice last week, and we really challenged some guys, and they stepped up big for us.
Not only did you stop Randall, you also stopped Dingle. They were both pretty much ineffective all night.
Yeah, other than John, took off on a fourth quarter run or third quarter run for about 40 yards, and a crazy acrobatic lateral series where you take away those two plays, and that was 70 of their 140 yards of offense. So a very, very dominating outing by our defense. That was the defense that I expected to see throughout the year, and we just now need to build off that going in tonight.
You said a week ago you had some things to fix. Do you consider them all fixed at this point?
No, I think it's a work in progress. I think we saw a lot of progress, and that's what we want to see. It's, I evaluate our season in 3 parts. Going into week 3, we'll do a major evaluation of where we are at after these first 3 games, and really break down stats, look at some tendencies and stuff like that, and see where we are. So, but I feel like we're headed in the right direction after this week's practices.
Now you've got no easy task. You've got Cape and Mount Carmel coming in here for a visit today, and you look back at that series, you've lost the last 2 games to Cape, and that's got to be in the back of the minds of everybody wanting a little payback, but at the same time, you've got a job to do to get to November, and this is just another step in that process.
Yeah, what we want to see is we want to see physicality matched with what they do offensively and defensively. Weston has done a great job of going over there and really getting them to play physical football. They're not doing anything fancy. It's good old blue-collar football over there right now. And, I'm excited to see if our kids can play that type of game, whereas the 2 past weeks we played more of a finesse-style offense and defense. So, it's going to be quite a challenge. Of course, this game has been circled on our calendar. We won't make any, we won't fib on that or nothing. But a lot of us have been wanting this game for about 9 months, 10 months. So our kids have worked extremely hard in the off season for this moment. But like I said, it's the process. This first 3 games is we got to see, because the goal is to win in November.
What's your injury situation going into tonight?
Coming out, Jacob King will, pretty close to passing concussion protocol, so we get him back. But, right now, his backup, Quavon Harris, had a heck of a game. And, that's something we got to see, is if Jacob can reemerge back into that starting lineup, because right now Quavon's hot, and we'll see if he can continue that tonight. But, for the most part, we're pretty healthy, and so we're excited about that.
Super. Want to wish you the best of luck tonight against the Crusaders, and we'll look forward to a visit before next week's contest.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Head coach Steve Martin on our pregame show. Stay tuned after this 60-second timeout, and we'll be back with more of the Toppers Plus pregame show. This is Grizzly Football, sponsored by Mel Hamilton Ford.
Welcome back to Grizzly Stadium for our Toppers Plus pregame show. Let's pause and join in on the national anthem played by the Grizzly Marching Band. The Northwest Grizzly Marching Band with a national anthem tonight from Northwest as the Grizzlies get set for the Kapaun Crusaders. Steve Strain and Kevin Arkin as we continue our Toppers Plus pregame show. And Kevin, great job by the band, but one of the things that listeners probably noticed as they watched and heard that here on YouTube is the wind that's howling out of the south. It will definitely be a factor tonight.
We haven't had wind all fall, Steve, but yes, tonight the wind is blowing out of the south-southeast, and it's blowing at between 25 and 35 miles an hour. Gusty at times, going to genuinely affect the game. If you watch the national anthem on YouTube, you can see the flag team has those flags really whipping out there from that wind. And if you're playing from right to left, from south to north, that's going to be a big advantage for you. And just the other way around, if you're playing from north to south, if you're trying to throw that ball, you're going to have some issues.
And these two teams can run the football, but I think the team that has the lead in the second half going from north to south will have the advantage because of this wind. It's going to be tough to throw, so you're not going to want to need to throw in the second half going north to south, left to right as you're watching on YouTube.
And that's another reason why Northwest really needs to dominate this game on the ground tonight.
All right, let's get to our starting lineups for tonight's game. Our starting lineups brought to you by Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, don't be late. They close at 8. Our friend Bingo Brashears at the location at 21st and Tyler is a big sponsor of Grizzly Athletics. Stop by and see him. Get there before 8. Hog Wild sponsors your starting lineups for tonight's game. All right, let's start with the Northwest offense, and we'll start on the line. Jacob Lamb and Dalton Schrader are the tackles. Lamb, 6'3", 225, he's a senior. Schrader, 6'5", 255, he's a junior. Nathan Davis and Alex Herrera are the guards. Davis, 6 feet, 255, and a junior. Herrera, 6'2", 280, and a senior. Connor Armstrong is the center, 6'1", 255. He's a junior. The receivers for Northwest, Michael Lopez, Takari Brown, and Chase Carter for the second straight week will start in place of Trenton Salisbury, who got injured during the Bishop Carroll game. The running backs, 2 great ones for the Grizzlies. L.J. Phillips, already on the season, 284 yards rushing in just 2 games. Sincere Thompson, not bad himself, 31 carries, 192 yards. Both of them also are juniors. Jace Glasper, the starting quarterback for Northwest, 6'2", 170. He's a junior. Now with the Kapaun starting defense, here's Kevin.
And the Kapaun defense features a 4-man front. That's what Weston Sharts likes to play. And they start with Louis Traglia, a 6'3", 195-pound senior. Defensive tackle Ben Zalinicki at 6 foot, 298. He's also a senior. Brady Holovac, the other tackle, 5'11", 235. He's a junior. And the youngster on the defensive front, 6'3", 190-pound sophomore Kyle Kia. Linebackers for the Grizzlies, Nathan Fury, 5'11", 190. He's a junior. Austin Howard, the middle linebacker, he's 6 foot, 180 pounds. He's a sophomore. They may pick on him because of his inexperience. And then Adrian Turner, a 5'9", 165-pound senior. Safeties for the Crusaders on one side, Jackson Daniel, 5'11", 165-pound sophomore, and Jake Beeler on the other side, a 6 foot, 180 junior for the Crusaders. The 2 cornerbacks, Dominic Shibley at 6 foot, 160, and Nathan Thingvall, 6 foot, 170. Thingvall, a junior, and Shibley, a senior, and that's the defense for Kapaun.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. Now let's take a look at the Northwest starting defense, and we'll take a look first at the line. It's a 3-3 look for Northwest. The ends are Romello Golston and Caden Ross. Golston, 5'11", 240, and a junior. Ross, 6'1", 245. He's a senior. Trey Birch, the nose tackle, 6'2", 275. He's a junior. The linebackers on the outside, Philip Gibbons and John Michael Fountain, having a great start to his career as a freshman. Fountain is 6'1", 200. He's a freshman with 9 tackles already. Gibbons on the other side, 6 feet, 215. He's a junior. Peyton Dean is a sophomore in the middle, off to a nice start to his career in his own right with 6 tackles so far on the season. He's 6 feet, 230 and a sophomore. The cornerbacks, Dontrell Harris and Jeremiah Harris, both had huge weeks last week, including Harris with an interception. and he's got the only one of those on the team. He's 6 feet 185. He is a senior. Jeremiah on the other side, 5'9", 155. He's a junior. The three safeties for the Grizzlies, Ben Heidebrecht, who leads the team in tackles with 17. Jacob King is a nickel defensive back. We expect to see, hopefully, him back in the lineup tonight. 5'9", 155, and a junior. And Jay Sig is the strong safety, 6 feet 170. He's a junior. Now here's Kevin with the Kapaun offense.
And as always, the offensive game is won or lost in the trenches. We'll start there. At left tackle, Paul Bloomer, a 6'5", 215-pound junior. The left guard is Hank Orth, 5'10", 205. He's a junior. At center, John Knapp, 6 foot, 192-pound junior. At right guard, Will Slaughterback, a 6'1", 190-pound senior. And Aiden Spears at right tackle, 6'4", 200-pound junior. Now for the skill players for Kapaun Mount Carmel. Their quarterback is a junior, Dylan Hamilton, standing at 5'11", 150. 21 of 30 so far on the season for 290 yards. Amari Elias, one of the running backs, 5'10", 188-pound junior. You'll hear us calling his name all night long. He has 365 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 games for Kapaun. Henry Chrisman, the other running back, 5'7", 170-pound junior. He has a touchdown as well and has run for 71 yards in the first 2 games. Will Thengvall, 6'3", 180 junior, is a wideout.
He's across the 45, out to the 46, move the chains. There's another Grizzlies, 4 points first down. Jackson Daniel, a sophomore safety, finally brings him down, but not before the 4 points insurance first down.
And Phillips is carrying 2 and 3 bodies with him each time he's touching the ball so far in this game.
Dalton Schrader, the right tackle for Northwest, has limped out of the game, and the Grizzlies are going to get Jaden Bernard, a senior, 5'10", 280, in at right tackle. They're going to run the other direction on 1st and 10, and this running play will actually lose a couple of yards, as that was Glasper on the zone read keeping it. And it'll be 2nd down of 11. Nathan Fury, boy, he had a whale of a season last year as a sophomore. Fury on the stop. 2nd and 11, Grizzlies leading 7-0. Glasper back, throws a little screen pass to Lopez. He's got blockers. He's got room. 50-45, knocked out of bounds there. That'll be close to first down yardage. The Grizzlies needed 11, and Lopez picked up 10.
Good play. Lopez wide open on the near side. Nobody marking him at all. So an easy way for him to get a 10-yard gain on the play.
3rd and half a yard handoff. Thompson up the middle. He's got the first down. Dragging defenders up to the 41-yard line. Move the chains. Another 4 points insurance first down for the Grizzlies. Northwest running with some tempo now. 1st and 10 on top, 7-0, and looking for more. Moving from our left to right. Jace Glasper out of the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers. Slots on the right. That's Lopez. Both running backs in the game, one on either side of Lopez, who's going to hand it off on the inside to Thompson around the right side, and he's dragged down from behind at the 37-yard line. That was Phillips, Adrian Turner, senior linebacker, on the stop after a gain of about 3-4 yards. They'll call it 4 to the Kapaun 38.
4 yards a carry will get us in the end zone here in about 10 plays.
Halfway through the first quarter, Northwest on the move, leading 7-0. 2nd and 6, Glasper zone read, fakes the handoff, cuts around to the right side. He's got space on the edge, inside the 35, inside the 30, down to about the 29-yard line. This one, though, looks like it's coming back. Looks like we're going to have a hold.
Number 70 is called for the hold for Northwest.
That's Jaden Bernard. We talked about him coming in moments ago for Dalton Schrader, and he commits the mistake on the hold. Probably part of the reason Glasper had some of that space around the edge. That'll take the Grizzlies all the way back to the 49-yard line of Kapaun. And that'll make it 2nd down now, and about 16 the Grizzlies need. Ball resting at the 49-yard line of Kapaun.
They don't need it all at once, Steve. They got 2 plays to get it.
Especially into this stiff breeze. Glasper, a long look over to the sideline. He's got 4 receivers this time, 3 of them out to the left. L.J. Phillips is to his left as well. Glasper back. He is going to heave one deep down the far side. He's got a man there, and it's incomplete. He threw that into double coverage. The wind really knocked it down. Takari Brown, the intended receiver, and the Grizzlies, Kevin, are lucky because that was double covered and nearly picked off.
It was nearly picked off. The ball got hung up in the wind and ended up falling short and went right through the arms of the safety for Kapaun Mount Carmel.
3rd and 17, Grizzlies now from their own 49-yard line. Glasper backs up out of the gun. Receivers shifting around, 3 of them in the formation on the left side, 1 Lopez to the near side. Glasper, quick drop, quick throw back to Lopez on a little hook and lateral, and he didn't catch it. He tried to almost slap it to L.J. Phillips, timing it, but Lopez couldn't hang on. Austin Howard was there in coverage for Kapaun.
Howard knocked the ball out of Lopez's hands just as it got there, so a pretty good defensive play.
So Michael Lopez, who has not punted great this season for Northwest, is back to punt into a very stiff breeze. He's going to have to keep this one low. Now there's movement by Northwest.
That'll move us back 5 more. That's the 4th penalty on Northwest already in this quarter.
2nd pre-snap penalty for Northwest. And again, you hate to see that if you're Steve Martin with your team doing that into this breeze that just plays into the hands of Kapaun. So Lopez now back at his 35-yard line. The line of scrimmage is the 45. High, short kick, going to be fair caught up at the 31-yard line.
That's really not a bad punt into the wind from Lopez. That was better than his punts from 2 weeks ago.
"24 yards was all on the punt, but again, Lopez did the best he could. 7-0 Northwest. Kapaun's 2nd possession of the game after the turnover, or the punt, excuse me. 1st and 10, toss right side. Elias stepping over tackles, hurdling across the 35, across the 40. Amari Elias, a Kapaun first down, all the way out near the 45-yard line before Ben Heidebrecht chases him out. Heidebrecht leading the Grizzlies in tackles this season with 17 coming into the game, and he just got another to add to his total. 1st and 10 for Kapaun. Ball at their own 44-yard line. I formation. And this is going to be a handoff to the fullback. And there's not much doing. That's Henry Chrisman on the carry. As they lined up in the I, it was a toss right side to Chrisman. He didn't get far. In fact, they'll lose a yard. Good defense Northwest. That'll bring up 2nd down and 11.
And a short run like that for the fullback trying to keep Northwest off guard, they smelled it out in a hurry for a 1-yard loss.
I formation behind Hamilton. 1 receiver out to the near side. Handoff Elias up the middle. And he gets slowed down by a 1. Then the Grizzlies are there to help. Not much doing there, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Trey Birch got the first hand on Elias. Didn't bring him down, slowed him down until Caden Ross could come in. 2nd on the team with 11 tackles starting the night. And Caden Ross on the stop makes it 3rd and 8 for Kapaun. Good job by the Grizzlies in the first quarter. Into the wind. They've not let Kapaun take advantage of that 20-mile-an-hour breeze behind them here in the first quarter so far. 3rd and 8 here. Kapaun might be throwing, though. And this is going to be a drop back and a play-action pass for Hamilton. He'll find Elias over on the right side. Tripped up just inside the 50-yard line. Nice defense for Northwest. Actually, that was Chrisman, the fullback, off the play-action rollout catch, but he was tripped up at the Northwest 49, and Kapaun will be short of the first down, and it looks like the Crusaders will bring the punting unit on again.
We had this same problem last week, Steve. Someone is wearing Trenton Salisbury's jersey, and we don't know if it's him or not. But that's who made the tackle.
So Kapaun will be forced to punt again. And the Grizzlies will
He's playing both ways.
Get the football as the punt is away, and this one is going to sail into the end zone. Lopez just lets it sail over his head. So Chase Dupont's punt nets 29 yards. No return. 3:19 to go first quarter. Northwest 7 and Kapaun nothing. Grizzly football presented by Mel Hambleton Ford. We'd also like to thank Hog Wild Pit Barbecue for sponsoring tonight's post-game show. Stay tuned for that coming up after the break. Hog Wild at 21st and Tyler. Don't be late. They close at 8. 1st and 10 Northwest. Grizzlies will send out 3 receivers to the near side. And Jace Glasper, though, is going to hand it off to L.J. Phillips coming right. Steps out of 1 tackle, then runs into a pile of Kapaun Crusaders, but not before he crosses the 25. However, a flag is lying down at the 20, and we might have another hold on Northwest. It negated a nice Chase Glasper run earlier this quarter. We'll see what the call is here. An illegal shift will move it back this time.
That's 25 yards in penalties here in the first quarter.
2 false starts and illegal shift amongst them, plus the 10-yard hold. So 1st and 15. Hey, it was 1st and 15 when Glasper found Lopez on the 85-yard touchdown pass. That's
and from that very spot.
Yeah, that's exactly the scenario here. 1st and 15 from their own 15. Glasper has an empty backfield now and 4 receivers, and he's going to cut it straight up the middle, break out of a couple tackles, right up the gut to the 21-yard line. He'll pick up 6.
Good zone read on the part of Jace Glasper. They were looking for him to throw on that.
So 2nd down and 9 for Northwest. Glasper out of the gun. Running back is Thompson to his right. Now Glasper's going to drop back, throw out to the right side, pass incomplete. Chase Carter, the freshman, who's playing receiver for Trenton Salisbury, couldn't catch that one, had no chance. It was well underthrown. So Trenton Salisbury not starting at receiver, but he is starting or playing defense for Northwest after injuring himself the first week of the season. 3rd and 9 here, Grizzlies. Swing pass out to Lopez, drops it. It was thrown a little bit behind him and incomplete, so that'll bring up 4th down, and the Grizzlies go 3 and out.
Both of those last 2 passes, Steve, were both each thrown right behind the intended receiver with no possibility of a catch being made. And now Lopez has really got the pressure on him. He's going to be punting from inside his 10-yard line.
Kapaun should have very good field position here. Jackson Daniel and Nate Thingvall are standing at about their own 45, and this goes off the side of the foot of Lopez to the 35-yard line is where it was caught on the sideline. It crossed out of bounds at the 34. That is a 13-yard punt for Northwest. 2:17 to go, first quarter. Northwest 7, Kapaun nothing, but the Crusaders, great starting field position here. It's 1st and 10. Dylan Hamilton, he's got a wishbone formation behind him, and he'll hand it off to Elias. A stiff arm at the 34, and he can't break out of it. Great one-on-one tackle that time, and that keeps Elias from finding the edge and getting more, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Only 1-yard gain on that play. Good pursuit by the defense of the Grizzlies.
And that was Salisbury, who's playing safety tonight, making that stop for Northwest. And it only goes as a gain of a yard. 2nd down and 9 for Kapaun from the Grizzly 33. Hamilton out of the shotgun, hands it off Elias. Hit right at the line of scrimmage, and down he goes. Oh, do the Grizzlies read that one well? It's 3rd and long.
2-yard loss on the play that time for Elias, and that's good defense, period.
Caden Ross is going to get credit for the tackle, off to a good start tonight. And it's 3rd and 11.
Probably 2-down territory here.
Hamilton's going to run a play action, deep drop, drops it off to Elias, juggles at the backfield. He's got a ton of space in front of him. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Finally knocked out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. A gain of 30 on a screen, and it's 1st and goal for Kapaun.
Somebody missed an assignment on that one. No way Elias should be out there all by his lonesome.
Hamilton dropped back, rolled to the right, then pivoted around, did a 180, and Elias was alone in the backfield with nothing but green turf and white jerseys in front of him. for a 30-yard pickup on the screen. First and goal, Kapaun from the Grizzly 5. Hamilton with an eye behind him. Hands it off to Elias. Coming left. Steps out of one tackle. Loses the football. It's on the turf. There's a scramble for it. I thought he was down. They say the Grizzlies recover.
Who's down on the bottom of that pile with a football?
Salisbury's the last one to get up. I think it was him.
He had the ball, Steve. Great recovery. The ball was initially picked up by the fullback for Kapaun, and then he lost it as well. All of a sudden, Salisbury's got it. It's deep in their own territory, but we just saved the score.
It sure looked like Elias might have been down at around the 4 or 5, and then right after that, the ball squirted free. It was a live ball and a big turnover for Northwest. First and 10 from their own 2-yard line, leading 7-0. Glasper, shotgun, back, play action.
That'll be interference.
Throws a pass to Lopez. He gets hounded out at the 24. Here come the flags, pass interference.
He was literally clotheslined out at the 30-yard line before the ball got there. Easy call for the ref. This is not a spot foul, however. It's 15 yards.
But it will be a first down for Northwest. Nate Thingvall, the free safety, guilty of the pass interference. And it looks like, against the wind, Northwest is going to pitch a shutout here in the first quarter. First and 10 Grizzlies from the 17. This is going to be a handoff. This is Sincere Thompson around the right side, in behind the guard, across the 20 and out to the 22. He'll pick up 5, and that'll bring up second down and 5. 7-0 Northwest. We're approaching the 30-second mark left in the first quarter.
Here's your key to the game, ball possession on the ground.
Glasper, shotgun, throws it out to Lopez. Quick swing pass. He gets maybe one block, then all of it himself out to the 30-yard line. He'll pick up 8, just shaking and baking and stepping out of tackles. That's a 4 points insurance first down. So the chains move out to the 30-yard line. We'll say the 29. First and 10 Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies do not need to run another play here, Steve, so they could wait for the end of the quarter and take the win.
Glasper, shotgun. Hands it off Phillips. Big hole up the middle. Across the 35, across the 40. He's out to the 41-yard line. Move the chains, another 4 points first down. That will take us to the end of the first quarter.
Like I said, who needs the win?
Good quarter it was for Northwest. We'll take the timeout. 1 quarter of the books from Grizzly Stadium. The score, Northwest 7, Kapaun nothing. This is Grizzly football presented by Mel Hambelton Ford.
Hey Grizzly Nation, this is Eric Hofer Holdeman, your principal at Northwest High School. Did you know Grizzly Pride is the combined booster club and PTO here at Northwest? They support both athletics and academics. We're asking you to join Grizzly Pride this year. Due to these extraordinary times, Grizzly Pride doesn't have the same fundraising opportunities they normally have, and we need you to join and offer your donation to help Grizzly Pride out. Go to our Northwest webpage, join today. Go Grizzlies.
Hi friends, Bill Nightingale, General Manager of Mel Hambelton Ford. Are you looking for a used car, truck, or SUV? With the largest selection in the state, you're sure to find the vehicle you're searching for at Mel Hambelton Ford. At the Big Corner, customers are number one, so every used vehicle is checked out in our shop by a certified technician before it goes out on the lot for sale. Shop
now they've got that 20-mile-an-hour wind behind them in the second, but Jace Glasper is going to hand it off to Sincere Thompson on first and 10. Right up the gut he goes, and he's all the way out to midfield, and on the Kapaun side of the field by about half a yard. He'll pick up 9, second down and 1 for the Grizzlies. Just a shade on the Kapaun side of the field. Pistol formation this time, as it's going to be Thompson right behind Glasper, and L.J. Phillips line up as a blocking tight end on the right side. Handoff Thompson around the right side. Hit at the line of scrimmage, though, and down he goes. He's short of the line to gain. He needed just a yard and didn't get there, so it'll be 3rd and 1 for the Grizzlies. Ball still resting at the Kapaun 49. 7-0 Northwest. Grizzlies on the move, though. 3rd down and a yard. Handoff. Phillips up the middle. Can he get the first down? Fighting across the line to gain, and it looks like he got there by half a yard. There's a 4 points insurance first down. Kyle Kia on the stop again for Kapaun. Second time we've called his name tonight. Not a big explosive run yet for the Grizzlies in this one. 1st and 10 here. Glasper on the options, going to keep it around the left side with room. 45-40, breaks out of a tackle at the 35. Down the near sideline, 30, 25 he goes. Steps out of bounds there, but move the chains. A gain of 22. There's a 4 points insurance first down.
Beautiful zone read that time by Glasper, and he shook off 2 defenders on the way down for his 22 yards.
1st and 10 Northwest. Handoff. Phillips right up the gut with room. Inside the 20, down to the 15 near the 10-yard line. That's Thompson, and the Grizzlies now starting to gash this Kapaun defense.
They're finding the hole, Steve, anywhere on the field.
1st and 10 from the 13. This is Phillips up the middle. Bowls over a defender inside the 10. I mean, he just ramrodded somebody right over them and knocked them on their back for a gain of a few. That was Austin Howard, a sophomore middle linebacker. He's going to feel that one in the morning. A gain of 5, 2nd and 5 for Northwest. Shotgun for Glasper. He's got the snap out to the left, trying to break out of tackles at the 5, and he can't. He will pick up a few. He'll pick up about 3, and it'll be 3rd down. Dominic Shibley, senior cornerback, on the stop. Grizzlies can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. It's 3rd and 2 from the 5. Glasper out of the gun. Behind him is the running back. That's going to be Thompson. He's got the handoff up the gut to the 5, to the goal line. Touchdown, Grizzlies. That looked easy right up the middle. Sincere Thompson, the rushing score, and the Grizzlies lead 13-0. 3rd touchdown of the season for Sincere Thompson, averaging 6.2 yards per carry. He scores from 5 there.
11 plays, 98 yards on that drive.
And now Tyson Smalley punches the extra point through. 9:57 to go, 2nd quarter, the new score. Northwest 14, Kapaun nothing. This is Grizzly football presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. A minute. That's right, that was. Up 14-0 now, a little more than 2 minutes gone, 2nd quarter, and Braden Sauter handles kickoffs for the Grizzlies, and with that big breeze behind him, he booms this one through the end zone. But Kevin Arkin, let's go back to that last touchdown drive for the Grizzlies, because it was a team effort. It was 98 yards, but they got help from their defense.
They did get help from their defense, because that whole drive started with the recovery of a fumble on the 2-yard line. And points off turnovers are big.
Let's remember that pivotal play in the game, Kevin, because Kapaun looked like they might be marching in for a potential game-tying touchdown, and all of a sudden that could be a 14-point swing.
It is right now a 14-point swing. It's 7 we got, 7 they did not get.
And that's the margin right now as well, 14-0. Grizzlies had a pre-kick penalty on that first Sauter kickoff, so they've got to march it back 5s. That's already 5 penalties for Northwest on the night. So now Sauter will try it again from his own 35-yard line. It's a moot point because this one still lands about 5 yards deep in the end zone, and it'll still be 1st and 10 Kapaun from their own 20. Steve Strain and Kevin Arkin with you on a Friday night of football from Wichita.
Great crowd here tonight, Steve. Again, the Grizzlies drawing so well, and this is evidently some kind of a Western theme. We can ask our production staff over here. It is what? Rodeo theme. Everybody wearing rodeo gear, Stetsons, cowgirl hats, you name it. That's all down here right in front of us.
1st and 10, toss left, Omari Elias. He'll make his way to the 21. He'll pick up a yard. You didn't bring your boots, Kevin?
I did not.
Oh.
You're the one that needs the boots because I'm talking.
Oh, all right. Good point. 2nd and 9 for Kapaun from their own 21. 9.5 to go, second quarter. Grizzlies up by the score of 14-0. Lights are on here at Grizzly Stadium. Have actually been all night. Well, the sun has set. It'll be complete darkness here pretty soon. Stadium will be completely lit by the stadium lights. Here's a running play for the quarterback Hamilton going nowhere. It's 3rd down and 11 now for Kapaun. Wind still whipping though, 18 miles an hour out of the south. And your game time temperature and conditions brought to you by Joaquin Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. 3rd and 11 for Kapaun. Low snap to Hamilton out of the shotgun. Digs it up, has to throw on the run. Nearly intercepted. That's Salisbury again. Not playing receiver, but making up for it on defense.
He was almost a receiver, and he almost took it to the house.
He's the one that came up with the fumble at the 2-yard line that gave the Grizzlies a chance for that 98-yard touchdown drive. And now he breaks up that pass there. He gave the receiver several yards of cushion, then had great makeup speed at the end.
And this is big because into the wind now, Kapaun has to punt from inside their own 10-yard line.
Right now, Northwest doesn't even have anybody back, as they might be going for the block here. DuPont kicks this one very low. That's wise. It does take a Kapaun bounce. It doesn't get into that breeze, and it's going to be stopped dead.
Midfield.
Now just about 2 inches on the Grizzly side of the field at the 49. So a pretty good punt right there. 32 yards, no return. The clock at 8:38 to go, second quarter. Northwest 14, Kapaun nothing. And now the Grizzlies with a chance to add to their 2-score lead. A great chance with good starting field position.
Wind at their back, good field position to start. They've been dominating on the ground. Everything is looking really good right now.
Which is something we said at Bishop Carroll 2 weeks ago, or at least one of us did, and we know how that ended.
Yep.
Handoff Phillips coming left, across the 50, inside the 45, down to the 43-yard line. He'll pick up 8. That'll be 2nd down and 2. Another big chunk on yardage for Northwest. Benz Ludicky in on the stop. 2nd down and 2 for Northwest. Glasper, shotgun back on 2nd and 2, looking to throw, under duress, just dumps it off. He's got Thompson at the 43, plows his way to the 41. That might be enough. It is for a 4 points first down. Nice job by Glasper at the last moment to get rid of that one.
He was literally on the way down when he let go of it.
1st and 10, Grizzlies handoff now. Phillips up the middle, breaks out of a tackle at the 40, down to the 35, 30, still on his feet. 20, 15, 10, 5, breaks out of another tackle there. Touchdown, Grizzlies. L.J. Phillips from 43 yards. He must have broke out of 10 tackles.
And he carried one guy 10 yards, literally carried him 10 yards along with the ball, of course.
How did he do that?
I don't know. That guy is so strong. It's amazing.
Well, we touched on at the beginning, we might see a lot of broken tackles with all of these running backs, Elias for Kapaun included, and Phillips has the Grizzlies up 3 scores, and Smalley's extra point may have been blocked. As Kapaun had some good pursuit in there, it's no good. 7:57 to go, second quarter. The new score, Northwest 20, Kapaun nothing. This is Grizzly football presented by Mel Hamilton Ford.
To have you watching another episode of What's Brewin'.
the after score should be 30.
Tyson Smalley handling the kickoff here for Northwest through the end zone, so it's 1st and 10 Kapaun. 7:57 to go, second quarter. Good start for the Grizzlies, Kevin Arkin. They lead by 3 scores, 20-0.
It's exactly what the doctor ordered, and with the wind in their face, Kapaun's got their challenge out for them.
1st and 10 here. Hamilton's going to hand it off to Elias across the 20. Tripped up at about the 23-yard line. Kevin, we talked about the Grizzlies getting out to a big lead. Kapaun, like the opponent last week, Heights, equipped to run the football and not play catch-up through the air. Big advantage here for Northwest.
It is a big advantage, and they need to maintain the advantage by keeping the pressure on and not doing what they did in game 1.
2nd down and 7. This is going to be a handoff to Henry Crispin right up the middle. And he's going to get stacked up, but not before he picks up a 1st down. Across the 30 out to the 31, he'll pick up 8. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for Kapaun. Clock running, 7:15 to go, second quarter. Grizzlies up 20-0.
Grizzly needs to be intensified here.
Hamilton shotgun, low snap, digs it out, now rolls out to the right, down he goes. Grizzlies pursue it there, and down goes Hamilton. We may have had a late flag come through. We did. Caden Ross in on the sack, but this flag came after the play, which usually leads to unsportsmanlike conduct or a late hit. I didn't see a late hit.
I didn't either. I didn't see anything. So it may have been verbal.
Grizzlies may have been a little overamped after the sack. Here's the call. Yeah, Ross must have said something because he looked like he got up and didn't motion anything. Steve Martin's going to get an explanation. Mark Marinelli, actually the defensive coordinator, is, and he's not real happy with it. He's the one doing all the talking. So that's a 1st down for Kapaun that moves the ball all the way out to the Crusader 42-yard line, and so much for all the momentum from the sack. Kapaun operating out near midfield now. 1st and 10 from their own 42. Hamilton hands it off Elias. He's hitting the backfield, and down he goes. And the Grizzlies reading the run really well right there. It'll be a loss on the play and 2nd down. All the way back to the 38-yard line it was, and a timeout's been called. We'll take it too. 6:43 to go, second quarter. Grizzlies 20, Kapaun nothing. This is Grizzly football presented by Mel Hamilton Ford.
Mel Hamilton Ford first, a dealer you can trust. Visit us out on West Kellogg today. Hi friends, Bill Nightingale, General Manager of Mel Hamilton Ford. Are you looking for a used car, truck, or SUV? With the largest selection in the state, you're sure to find the vehicle you're searching for at Mel Hamilton Ford. At the Big Corner, customers are number one, so every used vehicle is checked out in our shop by a certified technician before it goes out on the lot for sale. Shop Mel Hamilton Ford first, a dealer you can trust. Visit us out on West Kellogg today or shop us online at mhford.com. Mel Hamilton Ford, experience the difference.
After the timeout, more backwards moving for the Kapaun offense. They just tried to toss left side. Quavon Harris blew it up and dropped Elias for a big loss inside the 35 all the way back to the 34-yard line. It is 3rd and 18 for Kapaun from their own 34. Northwest leading 20-0 second quarter, and here comes a whistle, and Northwest has called a timeout. And let's take another one. Let's take a 30 right here. 6:07 to go, second quarter. Northwest 20, Kapaun nothing. This is Grizzly football presented by Mel Hamilton Ford. Third and 18 for Kapaun from their own 34-yard line with 6:07 to go second quarter, 20-0 Northwest with the lead. Kapaun now going to have to throw the football here. Hamilton back. He's going to throw a little inside screen, and this is going to be the tight end, Will Thingvall, who's got room around the left side. 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, dragged down all the way down to the 31-yard line on a little slip screen. Are you kidding me? On 3rd and 18. A big first down for Kapaun.
35-yard gain on the play, Steve, and they had him bottled up in the backfield, and somehow too many people converged on the wrong person and a gap opened up.
That will not make Mark Marinelli happy. 1st and 10 Kapaun from the Grizzly 32. I formation, and now it looks like Hamilton might have juggled the snap, and he's just going to have to run forward with it and pile his way to the 30 and pick up about 2 yards. Like there's a little hesitation right there before Quavon Harris brought him down, like maybe he was juggling the football or something. I'm not sure. He will pick up 2, 2nd and 8. Clock moving, 5.5 to go, second quarter. Northwest 20, Kapaun nothing. Kapaun on the move, though, from our left to right. Out of the shotgun is Hamilton. He's going to roll around to the right, drop back, heave one deep down the middle of the field. Badly underthrown, but Will Ancio, the tight end, is there. Then he juggles it, and it's incomplete.
He almost caught that. He went up, and he was literally bobbling it all the way down. And if he'd have gotten a little bit of control on it, he would have had a catch for a first down.
We've not talked much about Will Ancio tonight. He's 6 feet 6 inches tall. He's committed to Kansas State University. Maybe the top tight end in the entire state of Kansas, one of the top players and most sought-after recruits in the state. And he's going to go to K-State, and they looked his way there, but incomplete. 3rd down and 8 now from the 30, and this is going to be a handoff. Big hole here for Chrisman around the right side, inside the 25, down to the 20. Ben Heidebrecht finally hog ties him down at the 21, but that's a gain of 9 and a Kapaun first down. All of a sudden, the Crusaders making some noise on this drive after the big 3rd and 18 slip screen conversion for a first down. They picked up 35. And now they're knocking on the door. Again, they are into the win, so they might need a little more yardage to think about field goal. Right now, it's 1st and 10 from the Grizzly 21. Hamilton, handoff Elias right up the middle. A little bit of a crease initially, then brought down at about the 17-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 yards. Peyton Dean, sophomore linebacker, 6 tackles for him on the season coming in. Makes the stop. It's 2nd down and 6. Clock approaching the 4-minute mark left in the first half. Northwest 20, Kapaun nothing. Steve Strain, Kevin Arkin with you. Thanks to Chance Transmissions for sponsoring Grizzly football all season long right here on ESPN Wichita. 2nd down, 6, I formation behind Hamilton. And he's going to hand it off to Thingvall, the fullback up the middle. And again, the Grizzlies snuff it out pretty well. But Thingvall, strong, low center of gravity, plows forward to about the 13-yard line, a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and short. Kapaun will need about 2 yards right here from the Grizzly 13-yard line. It's a big drive for the Crusaders. They're keeping the ball out of the Grizzly hands as well. 3rd and 2, I behind Hamilton. He's got the snap, hands off Elias. Started right now up the middle. Now surging forward. He's not going to get very far, though, as the Grizzlies read that one really well. Not much doing there. Jacob King in on the stop, or excuse me.
I think it was...
That'll bring up 4th down and a yard. Romello Golston in on the stop, and now on 4th down and a yard, Kapaun is going to go for it, and they're going to hand it off to Golston. He's got the first down. Or excuse me, Chrisman. Off right guard, Chrisman fell forward, and it's 1st and goal from the 9. What a huge 3rd down play that was earlier this drive for Kapaun.
Grizzlies had the ball for 11 plays on their last drive. Capen's had it for 12.
First and goal from the 9 for Kapaun. Handoff Elias through left guard. Huge hole. He dances into the end zone easily. Touchdown Kapaun. From 9 yards out, Amari Elias just scored his 4th touchdown of the season. And it's going to get a little bit more interesting now with 2.5 left in the second quarter, as it's a 2-score game, 20-6.
And how big was that penalty in the middle of the field?
And the 3rd and 18 conversion on just a little slip screen. And now the extra point for DuPont is on its way and good. 2.5 to go, second quarter. The new score, Northwest 20, Kapaun 7. This is Grizzly football presented by Mel Hambelton Ford.
Hi friends, Bill Nightingale, General Manager of Mel Hambelton Ford. Are you looking for a used car, truck, or SUV? With the largest selection in the state, you're sure to find the vehicle you're searching for at Mel Hambelton Ford. At the Big Corner, customers are number one, so every used vehicle is checked out in our shop by a certified technician before it goes out on the lot for sale. Shop Mel Hambelton Ford first, a dealer you can trust. Visit us out on West Kellogg today or shop us online at mhford.com. Mel Hambelton Ford, experience the difference.
For the Grizzlies, at least in the last few moments, they do lead 20-7, but after Kapaun's first touchdown and extra point of the night, the Grizzlies were called for a roughing the snapper, the deep snapper, on the extra point. So Northwest is going to have to back their special teams up 15 yards further, and that's, Kevin, you counted 7 penalties tonight for the Grizzlies.
Exactly, 7 penalties. That's a 15-yarder. That's 45 yards in penalties so far tonight.
And that's the second personal foul for Northwest. They've also had a few pre-snap penalties. All of those are what happens in between the ears.
Yes.
It's not like holding or pass interference where it's effort, just bad technique. That's all between the ears.
Yep.
The ball blows off the tee, so Chase DuPont cannot kick it off yet. The ball is teed up because of the penalty at the Grizzly 45-yard line. This is interesting because DuPont could kick this one high and probably let the wind knock that down somewhere right around the goal line if Kapaun wants to try that. We'll see what he does. And that's exactly what he does, and then he kicks it out of bounds.
Oh my goodness, what a break for Northwest. With a short field for him to kick through, he kicks it out of play.
Kind of negates the penalty yards that Kapaun benefited from. Now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies out at the 35. A ton of time left for Northwest, even though the Grizzlies only have 1 timeout left. 2:30 to go, second quarter. Northwest with the ball, 1st and 10. And the ball will be at their own. Well, now they're moving it back to the 20. Steve Martin wants to know why.
I want to know why, too.
He doesn't like the explanation he got.
Ball kicked out of bounds, goes to the 35. But
the ball is placed 25 yards in advance of the re-kick line is why. So because it's the automatic 35 because of where the ball is kicked off from.
well, if that's the rule, that's the rule. I've never heard of it.
I did not know that rule.
I did not either.
1st and 10 from the Grizzly 20. Toss, left side, Phillips breaks out of a tackle at the 35, 25 out to the 30. So again, this is new to us. A kickoff out of bounds is not automatically, in high school football at least, at the 35-yard line. It's 25 yards from where the kickoff took place. And because the kickoff was at the Grizzly 45-yard line, the out of bounds kickoff puts the ball at the Grizzly 20 to start the drive. You'll learn something new every day.
You'll learn something new every day.
And
how often does that happen?
that you learn something new?
No.
Oh.
Well, that
Handoff Phillips coming left. He'll pick up a couple. It's 3rd and 2.
That never happens is what I was going to say.
Big play here, actually. 3rd and 2 Grizzlies from their
Very
own
big
28.
play.
Want to keep this drive alive and get some momentum going in to halftime. Up 2 scores right now. 3rd and 2. Handoff Phillips up the middle. He's not going to get the first down. Boy, a host of blue and white there to stack up L.J. Phillips. You don't see that often. That's what it takes to bring him down. It's 4th down and a yard.
And I got to believe, would they go for it?
I'm going to predict they try the hard count and then punt.
That's probably a very safe prediction.
The offense is staying on the field now. Play clock at 19:18. Northwest taking a lot of time right here.
They're trying to run the game clock down.
I don't think you want to burn a timeout right here and give Kapaun some time. So you're right. Play clock is down to 6. Game clock is at 48 and still running. Maybe the Grizzlies will call the timeout. Looks like they will.
They're going to call the timeout and then punt and give Kapaun as little time as possible to work with the ball before halftime. That really is not a bad decision.
So we'll keep it right here. 43 seconds left, second quarter, 20-7. I thought because it was 4th and a yard, I almost wondered if Steve Martin, sometimes a little bit of a riverboat gambler, might have gone for it right there. The line of scrimmage, though only your 29. Your defense has played really well tonight.
But the defense was just on the field for a 13-play drive.
True, but they'll only be out there for 43 seconds max this time.
Right.
Game seconds.
But I'm talking about going for it and then not getting it and having the ball on the 29 after you've just had a 12-play drive. The defense is going to be gassed.
Michael Lopez will stand back at his 16-yard line of scrimmage, the 29. He does again have a good breeze behind him. Now, Kapaun is not going to send anybody back. They might be bringing the house. High snap to Lopez. He hauls it in, gets it away.
Get a roll. Get a roll.
And it bounces out of bounds. He angled it toward the sideline. Had he kicked that straight down the middle between the hashes, the ball would still be rolling toward the goal line. Instead, it goes out of bounds at the 33.
Field position again at the 33 this time.
38-yard punt, no return. Kapaun is left with 37 seconds left in the second quarter, down by 2 scores, 20-7. And now we'll see if the Crusaders make an attempt to move down the field or if they will be content to just take a knee and take it to the locker room. Stay tuned. We'll have our United States Navy halftime show coming up.
He would be running. Closest person to him, Jackson Daniel, was 5 yards away when he went down.
The 42-yard line gets credit for the tackle right there. 1st and 10 Grizzlies, but they are in Kapaun territory after the 4 points insurance first down. Handoff L.J. Phillips coming left inside the 40, knocked down at the 38-yard line. He'll pick up 4. That'll bring up 2nd down. Grizzlies have found something with that deep post to Michael Lopez, though. They've used it twice for big plays.
And it's worked both times.
85-yard touchdown pass on the first play from scrimmage. It was. Out of the shotgun, Glasper here, zone read keeper around the left side, gets to the edge, gets to the 35, steps out of a tackle, still on his feet at the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and out of bounds down near the 9-yard line. They'll actually say he stepped out at the 11. That's still a 28-yard run and a 4 points insurance first down.
Beautiful run by Jace Glasper. That zone read is working perfectly tonight. Kapaun has been unable to stop it.
1st and 10 Grizzlies from the 11. This will be a running play right up the middle, and that is Sincere Thompson inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line, and he's going to get stopped right there. Grizzlies can get another first down without scoring a touchdown. It's 2nd and 6 from the 7.
It's interesting, Caden Ross has come into the game on offense.
2nd down, 6 from the 7. Yeah, Ross is lined up over on the left side of the line where a tight end would be. Keep an eye on that. Handoff, they're going to run left. This is going to be Thompson fighting his way inside the 5, to the 4, to the 2, to the 1, and he's dropped right there. Boy, I thought he was going to get that 1 extra yard needed, but he might have gotten the line to gain. Did he pick up the first down? No.
It's short by about a half a yard.
It's 3rd and half a yard from the 1.5 yard line.
And he ran that right over Caden Ross. Great blocking.
Glasper shotgun. Thompson up the middle on the handoff. He's there. Touchdown, Grizzlies. Sincere Thompson in the end zone, and the Grizzlies have added to their lead.
Caden Ross may have found himself a new job, Steve. Great blocking on both of those running plays on the short yardage team.
Northwest up 33-7 now. And Tyson Smalley's extra point is banged through. 6:16 to go. Third quarter, Northwest 34, Kapaun 7. This is Grizzly football. It's presented by Mel Hambelton Ford.
Tyler.
Thank you. To the hot dogs in the concession stand, because the Grizzlies are kicking off from the 45-yard line of Kapaun. Tyler Smalley with that strong leg is going to boom this one. That might have gone through the uprights and lands out near the track. There was a personal foul on Kapaun after the extra point that moved the football up. And now Kapaun will have it 1st and 10 from our left to right, their own 20-yard line. But the Grizzlies now up by 27 points, 34-7.
That was a big touchdown because, Steve, that was the offense that scored that touchdown from a long way away. They actually had to control the ball for the first time this half, and they succeeded.
Another big completion from Glasper to Michael Lopez helped set up the touchdown. Now on 1st and 10, Kapaun here. Handoff Elias up the middle. The Grizzlies read it well. Amari Elias, who had 2 big games against Northwest last season, not much doing tonight. No gain there. 2nd down and 10. Good job by Mark Marinelli and his defense for coming up with a game plan and then players executing it out there on the field. 2nd and 10. Handoff Thingville coming left around left tackle. Breaks out of a tackle. He's got room. 35-40. Stiff arming at midfield and still on his feet. 45-40. Still on his feet. Inside the 30. Flag comes flying in. We'll have to see what that is. A huge gain for Henry Chrisman. And we might have a face mask on Northwest. It looked like
a late hit out of bounds, Steve. It could be either one.
They were grasping, trying to bring him down. And then a flag came through right before the play ended. And it was Chrisman fighting off several would-be tacklers on his feet. He's stiff-armed. And now Kapaun's going backwards. Maybe he's the one that face masked. Here comes the call. Block in the back.
So it's against Kapaun after all that.
You know what's unfortunate for Kapaun? Chrisman was all alone by himself. He didn't need whatever block in the back happened.
Exactly.
There was no other Kapaun player in the vicinity. It was Chrisman battling 4 or 5 Grizzlies, but it was a block in the back that moves Kapaun. They still have a 1st down, 1st and 10 from the Grizzly 41-yard line. Handoff here out of the eye to Elias. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. Down he goes again. And it seems strange to say, but Omari Elias has not been much of a factor here tonight.
Shh, don't say that too loudly.
Should I not say the route is on either?
Please don't.
The magic words I said at Carroll when it was 31-9, and the Grizzlies got routed after that.
We're not blaming you for it.
All right, I didn't say it. Hamilton back, throws, fade, left sideline, overthrown and incomplete. And that was Ancio, the big 6'6" tight end, but That one, he was led a little too far, and it's 3rd down and 9.
If he would have caught it, he would have been out of bounds by 3 yards. It was really well overthrown.
You would think Kapaun is in 4-down territory here. Ball resting at the Grizzly 40-yard line. They're down 34-7 midway through the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
I formation behind Hamilton. Chrisman, the fullback. Elias, the tailback. And now a whistle before the play. And an encroachment call on Northwest. That will move it up 5 yards. And another, what I call focus penalty, Kevin.
That's just a lack of focus, and that's the 8th penalty on Northwest.
Handoff Elias up the middle on 3rd and 5 from the Grizzly 35, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Uh-oh, here comes the flag.
There's a flag. Yep, I saw. He threw him to the ground unnecessarily, Steve.
And that's a sophomore mistake by Peyton Dean, who did just that. I mean, threw aggressively to the ground. The ball carrier, Elias. When the play was already pretty much dead.
It was over.
No need for that. Kevin, well, let's wait for the call. Every penalty on Northwest tonight is what I would call a focus penalty. They were either pre-snap movement or personal fouls or that.
Or unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct. Those are the kinds of penalties you should never have.
They're very fixable penalties too, but you're right. Handoff Chrisman, the fullback. Here comes a flag. This is going to be a hold on Kapaun as the referee threw this one right into the middle of the pile as Henry Chrisman fought forward for a few yards, but you would think 99 times out of 100 it's a hold and coming back. Or a chop block.
That's 15 yards.
Well, that's the 1 out of 100 that flag in that area is not.
Yeah.
Somebody got a Northwest defender up high, and a teammate for Kapaun got that same defender down low. Very dangerous. You can't do that when you're blocking.
It's a break for the Northwest Grizzlies in that it is going to be 1st down and a mile, 1st and 25.
From their own 34-yard line now. Northwest has been penalized, I believe. They have.
Oh, come on.
Boy, this is getting out of control.
This is just sloppy football.
So now that moves it up. Back 15, forward 5. So it's 1st down and 20 now for Kapaun from their own 30-yard line. Play action fake here. Toss to Ancio out in the 17-yard line in traffic, broken up. Incomplete. There's Salisbury again. He might be our player of the game, Kevin.
He might be. I mean, it's almost like he's playing both ways, even though he's not playing on offense.
I mean, Lopez has had 2 huge receptions, including a touchdown. But Salisbury essentially had a touchdown. He had a pickoff that gave the Grizzlies the ball at the 5-yard line. 2nd and 20 here. Hamilton is going to run it out to the left on the option, keep it, turn it upfield. There's not much there. I realize Kapaun is into the win, but even when they've had it at their back, they just don't have a lot of success through the air.
No, they have not had any success through the air, and it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Well, I believe it's still 3rd.
Oh, it's 3rd. I'm sorry. In that case, they should go for it.
But you're probably not wrong when it gets to 4th.
Yeah.
3rd and 16. Hamilton back, throws a fade to the end zone, and that's 10 yards out in front of the receiver. And here comes another flag. That one cannot be interference. It wasn't catchable. Maybe it was illegal contact or a hold, but you can't call that interference. It was not catchable. Now the officials are talking about it. Maybe that's what they're discussing amongst themselves, is that was uncatchable. Still no word yet. Now the referee is going to talk to the official who threw the flag, and here comes the call. Now they might be pointing back at Kapaun. Maybe we have offensive interference. Still waiting for the referee. Here we go.
Well, the Northwest faithful sure don't like that call, and quite frankly, neither do I. So that'll be an automatic 1st down.
The ball landed about 4 yards deep in the end zone, and there might have been a little contact out at literally about the 7 or 8 yard line. And the receiver might have gotten bumped a little. It's not like he fell to the turf. He kept running.
And the official closest to the play did not throw the flag.
It's still not an automatic first down. Remember, in the high schools,
That's true, and I keep forgetting that. It's not automatic.
pass interference, not an automatic. So it's 3rd and 3 now, Kapaun. They needed so many yards for a first down. They're still shy by 3 yards of the line to gain. 3rd and 3 from the Grizzly 13. Handoff Thingville, off left guard. No, this is going to be Hamilton. I beg your pardon. Good job on the zone read to disguise. Hamilton, the quarterback, keeps it around the left side. He's short of the first down by a yard. 3.5 to go, third quarter. Northwest 34, Kapaun 7. It's 4th down and a yard for Kapaun right here.
And you know they're going to go for it, down 27 points.
So a big play here if Kapaun wants to stay in this one. 4th and a yard from the Grizzly 10. Hamilton, eye behind him. Elias has it stacked up near the line of scrimmage. He's short of the line to gain. They won't even have to measure this one. Grizzlies hold. They've got the football back.
And the defense has taken charge of the game. I'm so happy to see that. After some silly penalties in the middle of the field on that drive.
What a stand by the Grizzlies. The pass interference call, albeit questionable, but then on 4th and half a yard, they stood up Amari Elias, a great, strong tailback at the line of scrimmage, and Northwest is going to get it back. 3:10 to go, third quarter. Grizzlies 34, Kapaun 7, now Northwest of the football. Here is a toss, left side, L.J. Phillips across the 10, dragged down at the 15. He'll pick up 5, that'll bring up 2nd down. That was Thompson, Sincere Thompson on the carry. He'll pick up 5.
I'll take 5 yards to carry.
And the Grizzlies will too, and you would think they'd start thinking about working some clock. They're up by 27 points late third quarter.
You read my mind.
2nd and 5 here. Jace Glasper is going to get the shotgun snap. Quick throw, Lopez out to the right side. Lopez breaks out of a tackle across the 20, across the 25, across the 30 to the 31. That'll be a 16-yard pickup. Move the chains. They're down after a gain of 11. Boy, these Grizzly backs just so strong and able to drag defenders.
He carried
with
a defender on his back for 9 of those 11 yards.
Glasper, play action fake on first down here. Deep drop, deep throw, down the right side, overshoots his man, incomplete. And he was looking out there on the far right side, I think, for Takari Brown, or was that Lopez? Looks like Brown.
That is Brown. He's playing both ways now.
And it's incomplete, 2nd down.
So I dare say he's recovered from his injury.
Good coverage as well for Kapaun to give them credit. Now here's a little swing pass to the near side. Lopez shakes, makes, sticks his head forward and bowls his way down to the 50-yard line. He'll pick up 9, and that'll bring up third and a yard. Right at midfield. Northwest from our right to left, leading 34-7, very late third quarter. 3rd down and a yard. Glasper, handoff up the middle. L.J. Phillips with a burst of speed into Kapaun territory to the 46-yard line. There's another 4 points insurance. First down as the chains will move. Glasper, very methodical now as the Grizzlies again starting to think about the clock. It's under a minute 25 left third quarter. Northwest up 34-7. 1st and 10 Grizzlies from the 47-yard line of Kapaun. Shifting around is Sincere Thompson in the backfield. Behind Glasper and to his right, and Thompson will get the handoff, spin off at tackle, move left inside the 45, inside the 40, spin again at the 30, 20, 10, 5 to the pylon. Did he get there? He is close at the 1. Like a video game when you push the spin button. That's what Sincere Thompson did, and he's down to the 1-yard line.
He's got to be dizzy. He spun 3 different times during that run to shake off a tackler each time.
We're going to call it the Sincere spin cycle. He did 3 of them to set up first down and goal for the Grizzlies.
And they mark it at the 3.
That's, by the way, another 4 points insurance first down. Grizzlies are going to call a timeout here. They want to talk about it. We'll take it too.
They're probably tired.
59 seconds left, third quarter. Northwest 34, Kapaun 7. This is Grizzly football, presented by Mel Hamilton Ford.
Hi friends, Bill Nightingale, General Manager of Mel Hamilton Ford. Are you looking for a used car, truck, or SUV? With the largest selection in the state, you're sure to find the vehicle you're searching for at Mel Hamilton Ford. At the Big Corner, customers are number one, so every used vehicle is checked out in our shop by a certified technician before it goes out on the lot for sale. Shop Mel Hamilton Ford first, a dealer you can trust. Visit us out on West Kellogg today or shop us online at mhford.com. Mel Hamilton Ford, experience the difference.
Second down, the Grizzlies 1 yard away from pay dirt. They lead late third quarter, 34-7. Steve Strain and Kevin Arkin with you for another night of Grizzly football, where Northwest is dominating Kapaun tonight. Second and goal, handoff Phillips behind right guard, falling forward, he's in. Touchdown Grizzlies. L.J. Phillips in the end zone again, and Northwest adds to their lead. 40-7 Grizzlies. Well, Kevin Arkin, we thought that this Northwest team might be the better one this season. Extra point is good, 41-7. Let me go ahead and finish that thought. We'll keep it right here. We're at about the quarter's end. We knew that maybe the tides had turned with these two teams, that Kapaun lost a lot last year, and Northwest is still a very good team. And that maybe Northwest, if they had the edge, would we get to the running clock, was the debate before the game.
Yeah.
And I thought no.
Good afternoon, Grizzlies. We're your hosts, Hansel Wynn.
Guessed that the spread would be this far at this point in the game. 1 or 2 touchdowns maybe. Either way. I mean, I had a scenario where we'd be trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Another couple scores and we'll be there. It's 41-7 Northwest late third quarter.
I'm going to go back to points off turnovers. A net of 21 points off turnovers for Northwest. 2 touchdowns that they got and 1 that Kapaun did not.
All right, so the Grizzlies will kick it off now. And it'll be Tyler Smalley that'll do that for Northwest. With, again, about a 15-mile-an-hour wind behind him, maybe even 20, as Northwest will kick it off. And it's going to be a high kick that is, again, going to sail through the end zone. Temperature down to 84 degrees. Wind still whipping pretty heavily at about 16 miles an hour out of the south, hour left to right. And your weather update brought to you by Walking Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, where they treat patients of all ages. They also do implants. Walking Family and Cosmetic Dentistry at the corner of Central and Woodchuck. 29 seconds to go third quarter. Grizzlies up 41-7. Kapaun with a football, 1st and 10 from their own 20. Toss, left side, Elias trying to find room on the edge, and he's got some across the 25. Good run out near the 30. Actually, they'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
Nice run on first down by Elias, and that's probably his biggest run in quite some time in this game.
Yeah, Grizzlies have really bottled him up. And now there's a flag, though, so hold on. Everybody's waiting to see what the penalty is, and the referee will tell us.
Clipping.
That's the right guard, Will Schlotterback, guilty of the penalty there, and that will move it back.
For clipping, that's 15 yards. Or in this case, it might be less because it's half the distance. They're going to move it back to the 10s.
Well, just when we thought Elias might be breaking free for some success, that run was negated, and it's 1st and a mile for Kapaun back at their own 10-yard line. Clock resting at 22 seconds, third quarter. Northwest 41, Kapaun 7. Dylan Hamilton under center, I formation behind him. And he's going to turn around and either hand it off to Chrisman or keep it himself on his own read. He disappeared into a pile on the far hash. Nonetheless, not much doing there. A very short game. It'll bring up 2nd down in about 20. And that also will be the last play of the third quarter. It's interesting, Kevin. Kapaun didn't try to capitalize on the wind behind them. Or I beg your pardon, they'll have the wind behind them in the fourth quarter.
They'll have the wind behind them now, yes.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, that's okay.
All right.
But, you know, your thought is correct because Kapaun did not capitalize on the wind when they had it in the first quarter. They did not score. Grizzlies had the win in the middle 2 quarters, and put up 34 points during that time.
Let's go to the fourth. 41-7, Northwest with the lead. This is Grizzly football presented by Mel Hamilton Ford.
Good afternoon, Grizzlies. We're your hosts, Hanselwin
And Aya Garby. We're happy to have you watching another episode of What's Brewin'.
Penalty on Northwest. Haven't even got the snap off.
What's up with this? That's 10 penalties.
Well, couldn't even get a snap off and another penalty on Northwest, but it is 2nd and 19. Kapaun from their own 16. Hamilton rolling out to the right side. He's got his man. Pass caught, and then the receiver paid the price for it, and that was Will Thingvall out at the 20-yard line, who got hit hard on the little reception for just a few. It's 3rd down and 9. So he'll pick up 11, but they still need 9, and that was a hefty price to pay. Now 3rd and 9 as we start the fourth quarter. 41-7, Northwest with the lead. Toss right side, and this is going to be Thingvall again, I believe.
It is.
And he's going to catch it for a first down out across the 20, the 30, to the 31. So a gain of 10. So all of a sudden, with the win at their backs, indeed, Kapaun now throwing the football, but maybe too little too late. Down 41-7, early stages, fourth quarter. Dylan Hamilton completed 21 passes coming into the game. Low snap here, 3 receivers out to the near side. He'll find Thingvall again, who dropped it. It was down toward his shins, and Will Thingvall didn't haul it in out at the 35.
Poorly thrown ball that time by Hamilton. No, not catchable at all.
Well, the good news for Kapaun, the clock stops. 11:21 to go, fourth quarter. Northwest up by 34 points. 2nd and 10, Kapaun from their own 31. Hamilton, shotgun snap, back throws right side, pass incomplete. That one was intended for Ancio, and it was knocked away, and that was Dontrell Harris on the stop. Dontrell Harris, we called his name on almost every play, it seemed, last week, or Jeremiah or Quavon Harris. Might be the first time we've mentioned him tonight, but a good play there. It's 3rd and 10.
Time to put the hammer down.
Shotgun for Hamilton. He's going to run the option and try to turn the corner, and he can't. He spins out of a tackle going left, now back to the right, and loses more yardage. Down he goes. Good defense, Grizzlies. It'll be 4th down and long, and Kapaun will be forced to punt, and I think Dontrell Harris was there again.
He was indeed, Steve, and the play completely broke down. The offensive line for Kapaun Mount Carmel provided no protection at all for the run-pass option.
Chase DuPont will punt it away. Michael Lopez standing at his own 25-yard line. DuPont's got the snap, and the kick nearly blocked. DuPont had to alter his punt angle and gets off a low line drive that Lopez falls on back at the 18. That'll turn out to be a really long punt for Kapaun.
Wind dated, of course, but still a nice job by DuPont given the weather circumstances.
53 yards on the punt and no return. 10:31 to go, fourth quarter. Northwest 41, Kapaun 7. Stay tuned for our Hog Wild Pit Barbecue post-game show, where we'll have our Gem of the Game brought to you by Christopher Daniels Watch and Jewelry Repair, and our Player of the Game brought to you by Seneca Bowl. Handoff, L.J. Phillips around the right side across the 25 out to the 30, the 31-yard line. L.J. with a 4 points insurance first down after a run of 12 yards right there. Would have liked to have seen him just fall over and stay in bounds, but
would have been nice. Keep the clock going.
The only thing he did wrong. First and 10, Grizzlies. Jace Glasper looks over to the sideline with 3 receivers in this formation. Lopez is the slot motion from right to left. Play clock still only at 25. Grizzlies have a lot of play clock left here. Play action fake, throw, left side. This is going to be a completion, and this is going to be Lopez out of the slot across the 35 out to the 40, almost to the 41. He picked up about 9.5 yards, and that'll bring up second down and short.
I actually thought he had 10 yards on it, but they leave him a half yard away.
Second down, call it a yard. Glasper shotgun, handoff Phillips up the middle, big hole, bursts inside the 40, out to the 45, up to the 49-yard line. A gain of 9, another 4 points insurance, first down. Glasper will now watch L.J. Phillips come out of the game as the Grizzlies starting to get some backups in there. Aaron Bohannon Jr., who we saw come in a mop-up role last week against Heights, is out there now. He is the tailback for Northwest. And he's going to take the handoff. He's going to come around the left side, inside the 50, and he'll be dropped at the Kapaun 48-yard line, a pickup of 4. Aaron Bohannon Jr., a freshman, 5'6", 160 pounds. Yet another freshman seeing plenty of action for Northwest this season. On the other side of the ball, of course, they've got a starter at linebacker in John Michael Fountain, who's been very good this season.
He has been very good. There have been a couple of times in the first couple of games where he really got burned, freshman mistakes, but otherwise he's been playing like a senior.
2nd and 6 for Northwest. Handoff Bohannon, brought down in the backfield, hit right away. Good defense, Kapaun that time, as the Crusaders not showing any quit in them. Austin Howard, the linebacker, on the stop.
That was actually Thompson that carried the ball that time for the loss. A rare loss on the Sincere Thompson carrying.
You're right. One wears 13, the other wears 3. And that was Thompson. So, 3rd and 9. It was a loss of a yard for the Grizzlies at their own 48. Glasper back, looking, deep drop, has a man streaking downfield, and it's overthrown, and Steve Martin knows it. Chase Carter, another freshman, who is starting in the place of Trenton Salisbury, had a couple steps on his man, and Glasper overshot him by about 4 yards.
Too bad. He had a touchdown if he catches that ball.
And Coach Martin was kind of pounding his hands on his head like, oh my goodness, we had one. We could have gotten our freshman receiver in the end zone had that one been dropped in there instead. An incomplete pass, and now the Grizzlies will have to punt the football away. Lopez does just that, and the punt is going to be caught out at the 26-yard line. 26-yard punt by Lopez, no return. 8:15 to go, fourth quarter. Northwest 41, Kapaun 7. Kapaun has a couple of interesting games on the schedule remaining this season. Kevin, I mentioned Westminster next week. That's not the dog show. That's Westminster, Colorado. And then they play the St. James Academy out of Lenexa at home toward the end of the season.
They have a home-and-home series going with St. James. They were there last year.
1st and 10 running play for the Crusaders. Not much doing. Elias has the ball, and he's dropped at about the 27-yard line. No gain, 2nd down and 10. Kapaun from a right to left in their road whites, trimmed in blue. Toss right side Elias. This time he's got some room in the edge, 30-35, and he's wrestled out of bounds at the 38-yard line, a gain of 12. And Ben Heidebrecht on this stop, and that'll be a Kapaun first down. Clock is stopped at 7:45 left in the game. 41-7, Northwest with the lead. I formation behind Dylan Hamilton. And he's going to toss. Left side Elias trying to step in and out of traffic. Now surges forward in behind center. He'll find some room across the 40, all the way out to the 44. Didn't look like it was going anywhere. Then he ends up picking up about 6 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 4 for Kapaun. Dylan Hamilton, the junior quarterback, still out there for the Crusaders, running their offense. Kapaun on the move, but trailing by 34 points midway through the third quarter. Handoff here, Henry Chrisman around the right side, inside the 50, down to the 46-yard line. Kapaun starting to find some holes. Too little, too late to make a game of it, but again, credit the Crusaders for playing hard and not folding up. You knew they wouldn't, a Weston Sharks coach team.
No, they're not going to. There's no quit in the Kapaun boys.
First and 10, handoff Elias. Big hole up the middle, inside the 40, down to the 35-yard line. He picked up about 11 for another Crusader first down. Jeremiah Harris makes the stop for Northwest that time. I formation behind Hamilton. First and 10. And this will be a handoff to Chrisman up the gut. And Chrisman to the 34-yard line, a pickup of 2.
I'll give him those 2-yard gains all night long, because all that does is run clock.
And again, that's Kapaun's MO, and that's why, as we touched on before the game and early on, if you can get a lead on this team, you have put yourself in a great position, because they're a team equipped to run with the lead and work clock and make it hard for you to get the football out of their hands. But when they're behind, that can spell trouble. Handoff here off the left tackle. Elias, a gain of 3. 3rd and 5. Ball resting at the Grizzly 31-yard line. Exactly 6 minutes left in the game. Northwest 41, Kapaun 7.
7 plays on this drive, and about all they've accomplished so far is to burn 3 minutes off the clock in the fourth quarter.
Crusaders in no hurry right now. Chrisman, handoff, dropped in the backfield. Grizzlies read that one. They say the ball was even fumbled, and now one of the Grizzlies comes away with it, and it was a fumble. 3rd turnover of the night for the Grizzly defense.
The defense has played sharp all night long, Steve, only giving up the 1 score, but timely turnovers in this contest have really put Kapaun behind the 8 ball.
I think it was Quavon Harris that came up with the ball last.
I believe that's right.
Nonetheless, the first 2 times the Grizzlies have forced turnovers, they've scored off of them. We'll see what happens here. Handoff L.J. Phillips on first down, spinning around at the line of scrimmage and dropped right away. Not a lot happening right there. Actually, Phillips is out of the game. I beg your pardon. And for Northwest, that's Jericho Moore, another freshman who got that carry, 21 and not 24. 2nd down and 10 for the Grizzlies. Glasper back, throws a little swing pass this time. This is going to be Bohannon on the screen across the 35. Nice play out to the 38-yard line. Short little conservative pass, Kevin, but for a freshman receiver, that's what you want, just to get your feet wet a little bit, coming out of the backfield and making a catch.
And at this point in the game, you want to pick up the yards a piece at a time so that the clock continues to run and doesn't stop for a first down on every play.
3rd down and 4 for the Grizzlies from the 39-yard line of Northwest. Clock at 4:39 left in the game. Northwest all over Kapaun, 41-7. Shotgun for Glasper here. He's going to turn around and he's going to hand it off again. And this is that same ball carrier, Jericho Moore. And Moore is going to fight his way to the 40. That's it. He'll be 3 yards shy of the first down. So the Grizzlies will bring Michael Lopez out for a punt.
Yeah. I was going to say, they have no reason not to punt here.
They will also let the clock wind down.
They can burn 20 more seconds off without punting it.
And the game clock will be under 4 minutes left when Lopez gets this one away and the play is over. It's going to take a high Grizzly bounce inside the 25, and it's going to be down at the 24-yard line. 36-yard punt, no return. 3:50 left, fourth quarter. Kapaun having it handed to them by the Grizzlies tonight. It's 41-7, Northwest with the lead.
This kind of makes up a little bit for the playoff game last year, in which everything went wrong for the Grizzlies. Tonight, everything is going right for them.
Although I think if you asked the Grizzlies, they would have rather had that one than this one.
Absolutely.
But again, they did have this one, marked on their calendars because they did get beat by this Kapaun team twice last season. Hamilton back, deep drop, throws down the right side, has a man there, slightly overthrown, incomplete. Oh, his receiver had a step or two on his man, but just a shade too far, and that'll bring up 2nd down. I think that's one of those big receivers, either Ancio or Thingval out there. Nonetheless, it's incomplete, 2nd down. That was Thingval.
Dontrell Harris was in pursuit there. was a step behind. So, I mean, a caught ball there is going to be 6 points.
Well, somebody was guilty of pass interference for Northwest, though. So another big yardage penalty.
That's 11.
And it's first down and 10 Kapaun from their own 39. I formation. Hamilton lost the ball on the snap. There's a scramble for it. Now fighting forward to the 42-yard line. Well, that was a weird-looking play from the beginning.
The ball came loose, but I think obviously Kapaun managed to maintain possession, and they actually gained 3 yards on the play.
Again, the Grizzlies at South next week, or excuse me, they'll be.
That's right.
Yes, that's right. They'll be taking on East at South. Run, left side. This is Elias. Now he's free. Finally breaks free around the 40 to 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Kapaun.
58-yard touchdown run by Elias.
Well, if you're going to let him get that, let it happen now when the Grizzlies were up 41 to 7.
That's right.
Just to finish the point, we will be at South next week, but East is the opponent. After Elias.
That's right. We don't play South this year.
South will be later on. South will be on October the 7th.
I think they're here.
At Carpenter. We'll go to Carpenter twice.
We go to Carpenter. That's right.
For East and for South. 41-13. Now the extra point on its way by Chase DuPont. It's good. 2:58 to go, fourth quarter. Northwest 41, Kapaun 14. This is Grizzly football presented by Mel Hamilton Ford.
Hi friends, Bill Nightingale, General Manager of Mel Hamilton Ford. Are you looking for a used car, truck, or SUV? With the largest selection in the state, you're sure to find the vehicle you're searching for at Mel Hamilton Ford. At the Big Corner, customers are number one, so every used vehicle is checked out in our shop by a certified technician before it goes out on the lot for sale. Shop Mel Hamilton Ford first, a dealer you can trust. Visit us out on West Kellogg today or shop us online at mhford.com. Mel Hamilton Ford, experience the difference.
Gem of the game? First play.
Yeah.
Player of the game? Salisbury.
Yeah.
Those are both easy.
Yeah.
That one, they just kicked off into the end zone.
2:58 left in the game. And the Northwest Grizzlies gave up a touchdown. I'd still say they have it in cruise control. Didn't know if we thought we'd say that when the night started, but it's 41-14, Northwest with the lead, as the Grizzlies have been in command since the outset. They led by 3 touchdowns before Kapaun scored for the first time tonight. And the Grizzlies have now brought Diego Gutierrez in as the quarterback in a mop-up role here. He's got Bohannon as the running back behind him. Gutierrez with 3 receivers, slots on the right side, so the Grizzlies getting a lot of backups and opportunity right here. This will be a handoff Bohannon, and he's dropped right away at the 20-yard line. So no gain. That'll bring up second down.
And the Grizzlies, of course, more interested in running the clock than anything else. And inside 3 minutes now.
And getting everybody out of here healthy.
Exactly.
Before they turn their sights toward the East. Blue Aces next week. East, who knocked off this Kapaun team last week, 30-20. You know the Blue Aces will be up for that one. We'll have it at 7 o'clock. Second down and 9. 3 receivers. And this is going to be a handoff and around the left side. This is Moore. Moore across the 25 out to the 30-yard line. Wrestled down there. You're listening to Northwest Grizzly football on ESPN Wichita 92.3 KKGQ. Glad you've joined us for high school football here tonight from Wichita. All Grizzlies tonight. 41-14, under 2 minutes left in the game.
You can hear the rodeo fans down below, the student body, all dressed in their cowboy outfits, cheering and enthusiastic over the impending victory.
3rd down and a yard. If the Grizzlies get the first here, they can get into victory formation and call it a night. And they're going to get that yard. Handoff to Moore across the 30, out to the 35. Dropped right there. And with a minute 20 left, they'll start the clock once the chains get set. And we'll see if the Grizzlies want to get in victory formation or try to run some plays for their backups. Now Gutierrez will look over to the sideline. Now he'll work some more clock, which is at exactly 1 minute left in the contest. 41-14, Northwest with the lead. Play clock is down to 10, and Diego Gutierrez is going to work that thing down to the last drop. As he's about ready now, and he'll hand it off. Around the right side, and this is going to be Bohannon across the 35, out to the 36-yard line. And the Grizzlies...
They don't need to run a play.
Yep, they don't. There's about a 1 second difference between the game clock and the play clock. And there's 1 fewer second on the game clock than the play clock. So that should do it. And it looks like the Grizzlies are lining up at the 50 for the handshake. And that will indeed be tonight's ball game. Impressive for Northwest in all 3 phases, as the Grizzlies are going to go to 2-1 on the season. And the happy home crowd to celebrate. Final score, Northwest 41, Kapaun 14. Now stay tuned for our Hog Wild Pit Barbecue post-game show right after this. To Grizzly Stadium, where it's a final. Northwest 41, the Kapaun Crusaders 14, and welcome in to our Hog Wild Pit Barbecue post-game show. Hog Wild sponsors your Grizzly post-game show. Hog Wild at the corner of 21st and Tyler, where they say don't be late. We close at 8, and you're about an hour, 15 minutes late for that. But they do catering. They'll be open tomorrow. Stop by and see Bingo Brashears and our friends at Hog Wild at 21st and Tyler. Big sponsors of Grizzly athletics, not just football, but Northwest in general. This is our Hog Wild post-game show. The Grizzlies improved to 2-1 on the season. Kapaun falls to 1-2. And Kevin Arkin, unlike last year where the Grizzlies got off to a couple of good starts and didn't finish, tonight they finished the job.
They came out in the 3rd quarter and took it to the task for Kapaun Mount Carmel. And quite frankly, I was very surprised, not that we did it, but that we did it so thoroughly throughout the entire second half. Kapaun was really never in the game. The lone touchdown they got in the second half was on a one-play sprint by Elias, and other than that, Kapaun was bottled up the whole time.
Steve Martin said it after the first game against Bishop Carroll, and he's really said it for years. I like to play them first because it lets us know where we are.
Yeah.
And one thing that we've seen from this team since week one, where they were not good stopping the run, they were very good at it last week, and for the most part, pretty darn good at it tonight.
They did. They shut down they shut down the run of Kapaun Mount Carmel. They basically held Will Ancio
non-factor,
ineffective.
Yeah.
All night long. I mean, he caught a few balls, but he really didn't do much either. Their place kicker never got a chance to bang any long field goals because it just wasn't an option at the time. So, control of the game. That the key to the game all the way back an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, we said the key to the game was to control the ball. And Northwest did that tonight.
And now the Grizzlies will have East next week, an East team that knocked off Kapaun last week.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And East, don't forget, beat Bishop Carroll in the last week of the regular season last year. So
that's an improving team.
They are.
The Blue Aces are.
Yes.
We're going to have our hands full next week.
For sure. All right. Time now for our Gem of the Game. Our Gem of the Game is brought to you by Christopher Daniels Watch and Jewelry Repair. Christopher Daniels is a big Grizzly supporter, and he's at the corner of Central and Tyler right next to Jimmy's Egg. And if you are in the market for new jewelry or watch or jewelry repair, stop by and see our friend Christopher Daniels at Christopher Daniels Watch and Jewelry Repair, who sponsors our Gem of the Game. And, Kevin, we didn't have to wait long to find that one.
We only had to wait 2 plays
Yeah.
to get that one, and that was the 85-yard bomb from Glasper to Lopez when Lopez got behind the entire secondary of Kapaun Mount Carmel into the wind, and everybody was expecting us to run the ball into the wind. One play, boom, over it goes into the end zone.
It was a quick little skinny post, and again, like Kevin said, the defense bit on the play action, and Lopez just went a few yards upfield, then diagonally toward the middle of the field between the hashes, and 85 yards later, he was in the end zone, and before folks could get their popcorn and sodas and get seated, some of them, the Grizzlies had a 7-0 lead. That, our Gem of the Game, brought to you by Christopher Daniels Watch and Jewelry Repair. Now it's time for our Player of the Game, brought to you by Seneca Bowl. Seneca Bowl, 1909 South Seneca. Hey, folks, they've got Cosmic Bowling tonight and tomorrow night. It starts at 10, and they have Glow Bowling, a ton of fun. Kevin, checking your watch. You can get there in time.
I can get there in time to get all of it in.
Yeah, some Cosmic Bowling. All right, our Player of the Game, we're going to go with something different tonight. It is defense, but well-deserved. How about Trenton Salisbury? We called his name time after time making tackles. Then early in the third quarter, he set the tone for the rout with that interception. He was knocked down at the 5-yard line. Grizzlies got a touchdown after that, and Salisbury set it up, though he got the assist, if you will, on that touchdown. But, boy, what a night for him defensively.
He had a great night. Tackles, the interception, in on the fumble play, all around, and then he played both ways as well. So he also did play on offense some and had a big catch in the fourth quarter.
Now we'll face East next week, 7 o'clock kickoff. Grizzlies cannot let down for that one, Kevin.
No, we cannot. It's going to get harder every week. We've got East next week. We've got Manhattan coming up later in the season. They're going to be very tough. Topeka is an unknown quantity. They were a little bit weaker last year, but they're an improving ball club. We've got them here at home in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, we've got a lot of football yet let to be played this season before we get set up for November playoffs.
And if you haven't heard the big announcement this week that the Grizzlies and West are going to be playing at Riverfront Stadium. So Northwest, I know, excited about that. The October 14th game that was going to be here, it has been announced, will be at Riverfront Stadium, the Grizzlies and West. So on top of the fact that it's another City League game, we get to call a game at Riverfront from the baseball stadium.
From a brand new stadium, yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. I know our friends at Mel Hamilton Ford have been very instrumental in sponsoring that event as well. It's going to be a great time. October the 14th, the Grizzlies will play West at Riverfront downtown. So it ought to be a nice, crisp October evening for that one as well.
It won't be 89 degrees at kickoff like it was tonight.
That's probably right. All right, Kevin. We'll see you next week, partner.
Look forward to it.
All right. Our thanks to Michael Darcy back at the ESPN Wichita studios, punching the buttons, making this one possible. Now this is Steve Strain inviting you to join us next Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff, the Grizzlies and East from Carpenter Stadium. We'll see you then. Once again, our final score, Northwest 41, Kapaun 14. Now from Grizzly Stadium. So long, everybody.